What is cracking? Because it is your boy Cypherblock here, bringing you guys a speculation and a breakdown video for the Pokemon Sun and Moon series. Again, I am here today to break down my thoughts of what's going to be going on in Pokemon Sun and Moon and what we can speculate and just break down information of the screenshots that we will see today. Again, I tried recording this earlier, actually, I believe yesterday, and unfortunately, Pokemon did make a claim because I had too much information that was theirs, so I kind of had to, like, fuck, I just got to redo this. So, again, I did have, like, live reactions in that video, but unfortunately, that video, again, got taken down because I had too much information, which is fine. So, what I did, actually, to make this easier, excuse me, is if you guys have not seen the trailers, the Japanese and the English one, then make sure you guys go in the description below. That is where you guys can see the trailers. But what I did here is I actually took the more important screenshots of what I seen that, you know, needs to be discussed. So again, if you guys are hyped for today's speculation video, then make sure you guys hit that thumbs up down below. It is greatly appreciated. Make sure you guys subscribe for more because we're going to be doing a lot of Pokemon Sun and Moon news and speculation because, again, this is very intriguing to me and I really want to get this off. So again, subscribe for more. If you guys have not, make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter. That link is in the description below, as well as my Twitch and Instagram. And without further ado, I think we're going to go ahead and get into this. So, as you guys can see, Pokemon Sun and Moon. This game is probably going to be one of the best Pokemon games I can think of. Again, I was kind of on the edge about this game. I was like, man, this kind of looks whack as fuck. But the more I really thought about it, I was like, yo, I need to speculate on this because I have a lot of great thoughts for this. So again, let's go ahead and get into this. As you guys can see, we have our first screenshot. And this is just basically like the opening up screen. As you guys can see, we're in our bedroom. You know, we kind of look like we're a student. If you guys have not seen the Japanese commercial, we're kind of like how he is. So as you can see, we have, you know, the TV, the game system, just everything that we should, or you know, that we should have in our room as a starting off Pokemon trainer. What I really like about this screenshot is how much detail there is into everything. I mean, like, look at this. You can see a stand on the TV, like a fucking stand holding the TV up. You have a Wii U gamepad. We have a Pikachu doll that's sitting on the, you know, it's sitting on that desk dresser looking thing. There's a globe in the back. And it's kind of cool. Now, you know what would have actually been really cool if they put Hawaii, right? Like, you know, you could, like, distinctively see Hawaii. That would have been actually pretty cool. But then again, you see, like, a wicker laundry basket, a book on there, you know, an open book, actually. So there's a lot of things you can pay attention to detail on that screenshot right there. And there's, you know, it's a lot of great things, you know. You're like, it's like you're just not looking at the character. You're looking at everything else that's going on as well as the character. So that's what I really like about this screenshot. There's plenty of things to speculate more on, but again, it's gonna have to come when, you know, when the time comes. So let's go ahead and go into the next screenshot here. This next one is going to be us standing in front of a guy. We do not know who this guy, but as you guys can see in the context, it says "Welcome to Paradise, cousin." So we must be this guy's cousin because we obviously just moved here. Now, again, I don't know, like, I know his relation, but I don't know what he necessarily is to us. Is he, like, a professor that has a job there? Does he work in the local town? Is he a gym leader? You know, there's so many things you can speculate on that you do not know what is, or, you know, what it is. So, again, his name is Kukai. I cannot pronounce that. But again, this is the Alola region. So we're going to go ahead and speculate that this region is based off of Hawaii. There's so many obvious answers. One, if you look at the map, which will be coming up later, it looks exactly like Hawaii. Evidence number two, the Aloha, you know, those kind of things just stick out to you that say, hey, this is Hawaii. So again, his name is Kukai. You know, he's really laid back, you can see of, you know, if he's a professor, I think he's the most laid back professor you can see. Now, Professor Sycamore was pretty laid back, you know what I'm saying? You know, he, you know, didn't dress all official like how Professor Oak did. But this guy's just going balls out, you know, he's got like no shirt on under. I'm like, I know it's Hawaii, but damn, put a shirt on, man. You know, he's got the glasses, he's got the front face snappy, you know. He looking swagged out, you know, got the lab coat and all, that's all rolled up. So he's looking pretty cool, but again, we don't really know of what his relation is besides he's our cousin. So let's go ahead and get into the next screenshot. As you guys can see, this is actually one of my favorite ones. Now, you're probably asking, why is it one of my favorites? My favorite thing is look how much detail there is in the background. If you guys just, like, put your hand over the trainer. Look how much detail there is. It's insane. You can actually see of where you're going to be running into the route next. You can see mountains in the background. You can see the flowers distinctively. You can see the clouds, like even maybe the clouds are even moving. I'm not too positive, but you can just see so much detail into this, you know? And what's really cool is, if you guys did watch the trailer, he was running, but the awesome thing is he's a full-size sprite. He's not just that little character that you see that's miniaturized like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire or X and Y, you know? He's a full trainer, like as you were standing in front of the Primals or Xerneas or Yveltal. You're an actual standing character that's full-size. So that's what I really like about this game, and I think they're going to do very well on it. Now, hopefully we get more Pokemon, but we'll speculate that a little more. So let's go ahead and jump into our next screenshot, which is going to be Watson/Birch, or Watson/Birch as a Pokemon professor. We don't know what... Okay, let's go ahead and slow down and, you know, get a thought of this. So as you can see, we see a samurai guy throwing 3 Pokeballs, you know, water, fire, grass. You know, it's kind of that little, it's kind of like the basic Pokemon tradition. You know, it's just the professor throwing the Pokeballs, you pick which Pokemon. But as we can see, we have Kukai in the back. We have this mysterious I want to say Hawaiian Elder. Yeah, but let's go ahead and say Hawaiian Elder throwing 3 Pokeballs. Now, again, if he's the Pokemon professor, then that's going to be insane. You thought this guy was laid back. This man is not even wearing he's wearing a lab coat, but he's wearing like a Hawaiian flower traditional lab, or I wouldn't say like a lab coat, but I would say like more, I don't know what those things are called. But as you guys can see, he does have like a belt on. He has like, I believe, like a fan, you know, like one of those like really wide blade fans. He has one of those in his pockets. Again, he has a mustache, no eyes. Maybe he's Brock's grandfather, you know. It's a possibility. I mean, it could be. But again, he's throwing 3 Pokeballs. As we can see, just, again, like I said, pay attention to detail. Look how much detail are in the huts. And I know these aren't the best screenshots, but it's fine. Leave me alone. I got what I got, and I just want to speculate a little more. But again, look how much detail are in the palm trees or in the clouds in the back. You can even see trees off in the distance. You know, most Pokemon games would just leave flat grass land, as this one actually shows you detail into trees that are like, could potentially be miles away. So that's what I really like. But again, he's throwing 3 Pokeballs. We don't really know what his relation is. Again, is he maybe the professor? Is he the assistant and Kukai is the professor? You don't really know yet. Maybe he's throwing the Pokeballs just because he brought him there to show. You know, it's really difficult to say now, but I'm pretty sure we'll get more information later. So next, we do have the starters here. We have Rowlet, we have Litten, and we have Popplio. I will get a little more into them, but a brief little summary if you guys, again, have not watched this and you guys want to, like, see what it is. We really have Rowlet, again, grass-flying owl, a cat/tiger Pokemon, if you want to say, because he is following the Zodiac sign. Again, Fire Cat, and then we basically have the Ball Seal, which is the water starter Pokemon. So again, more towards the end of the video, I'm going to get a full breakdown of what they could be. So let's go ahead and go into this next screenshot. This next screenshot is another of my favorite. Again, we are the full-size character, but what's awesome is you can like see like the erosion in the hills. You can see the detail in the statues of the tikis. Again, and you can definitely tell that the strange souvenir that was in X and Y definitely came from this region. I mean, come on. It looks exactly like those statues if you guys have seen the strange souvenir. But what's really awesome to me is this full-size character thing is you can even see the detail in the stairs. And I haven't seen details in stairs like the GameCube game. It's kind of like Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness and Coliseum have met the 3DS. It's insanely awesome. And I'm just super hyped. I really like how much detail they're putting in this, as well as I've never played a Pokemon game on a handheld device that you are a full-size character. That's actually insane. So this next screenshot here, we are getting an overview of the city. I kind of want to break down the city. So if you guys look in the bottom right corner, you can kind of see that NPC player there standing on the beach. That is insane. I mean, granted, it is an NPC player. Look how much detail there is in that NPC right there. I mean, like, he's a full-size character. That's an NPC, and that is insane. You can see the car moving that's right above him. You can see the buildings. You can see far off buildings. You can, that are in front of the clouds. But the 2 big buildings that stick out to me are the one that's on the water there, that's blue, and the big circular tower looking one. So let's go ahead and start off with the one on the water. To me, what I feel like that could be is there's two potential things I think that could be. One, I think that could be potentially like if you guys live kind of close to water, you've heard probably of a thing called Coast Guard. Coast Guard is really relatively well in Michigan. I actually live by the Coast Guard city, which is in Michigan. So I go to I really like to learn these things, but Coast Guards are basically kind of like the National Guard, but for smaller bodies of water. So what's really cool about this is if they added the Coast Guard into this game, or the National Guard or whatever, that is insanely awesome. So I think that could potentially either be a Coast Guard station, or it could just maybe be like a boating docking / area. So again, we don't really necessarily know yet, but and again, it even could be a gym. We don't even know. So again, I really want to hope to learn more about that. I'm really hoping it's a Coast Guard kind of station. And the next, as you guys can see near the middle of the picture, we do have that big circular tower. We don't know what that necessarily is yet, but what I'm speculating for it to be is maybe like the department stores like you always see in Pokemon games, or maybe it's like a bunch of apartments, or maybe it's even like the bad guy tower like they had in Saffron City with Pokemon Red and Blue. We don't really know necessarily the bad team yet, but maybe that could be the bad team place. But again, the big place in Lumios, the tower, was actually a gym. So again, we don't really know what it could be, but I'm speculating to either be the boss's tower, a gym, or a department store. It has to be one of those three. I'm not too positive, but I'm really hoping it's one of those three. So let's go ahead and jump into the next screenshot. Okay, so this next screenshot is, I believe, my favorite. I really love this screenshot, and there's so many reasons to why. So as you guys can see, we are under that big circular tower, but to our left of us, we see a actual, and the thing is, he might not even be an NPC. Maybe he's like the taxi driver standing out of his car, and you guys go into his car, and he drives you to wherever you need to go. But what's really, really awesome about this is the length, or like the size of a full-grown adult. It's like you could actually see the 10-year-old / adult resemblance, and damn, I hate when people do that, but you can see the resemblance to the adult and the kid. You know what I'm saying? Back in the old games, they were always the same size, but this one, you got an actual adult to a kid. That is fucking awesome. It blows my mind. You can see the full detail in the cars. Like, look at the grill of the car. You can see full detail. You can see that building that we were talking about, like possibly the Coast Guard, or the one that was maybe like a little closer to it. But again, then you can see apartments that are up top, of just in the distance. So it's kind of like looking on that sideways angle, and that's just it's blowing my mind insane. I can't. I'm about to lose it, man. I'm about to lose it. This game is getting me too hyped. So this next screenshot is us here, where we picked our starters, as you guys can see. So it's kind of like a training grounds in the middle of the town. But what's pretty cool is, again, I actually screenshotted this one because look at the NPCs. If those are even NPCs, I don't know if they positively are, but I mean, look at them. They are full scale. Like, it's not just like, oh, hey, I'm going to be full scale, but I have no face. I mean, no, look at this. They have detail. You can go up to them and you can see their face. That is insanely awesome. And I really like this because, I mean, look at the detail that's under that hut. You can see the shadow of under the hut. You can see yourself going into the forest that's up there. You can see the NPC standing in the shade. That is just awesome, and I'm so hyped because I think my most favorite thing about this game is how you are full scale. You know what I'm saying? Like I really liked when you were full scale going up against a legendary, or going up against or just random cutscenes that you were full scale. I really liked that, and so now I'm actually getting my wishes to come true, and I'm actually going to see full scale everything. It's gonna be insane, and I'm glad, and oh my gosh, I'm so hyped for November. So this is another important screenshot that I wanted to talk about. This one is going to be possibly our rival. I don't know who this is. It could even be our cousin's son. I mean, I kind of see a resemblance to them, possibly. But again, either way, maybe he's meeting us after the first town. I don't know where we're at right now. But again, look at the detail of that kind of like that bridge / I want to say entrance kind of thing, but you guys can see like the palm trees in the back. But what's really cool about this is how he's full scale as well. So we're kind of like two full scale 10-year-olds just going to talk to each other. So potentially this could be our rival. It could even be maybe or maybe just like kind of like how the group guys were, because we didn't really classify Tierno or I guess like Shauna, or what was the other kid's name? Coconut Head as rivals technically, but we're just a big group of friends. So maybe he's part of a big group of friends. Maybe he's our rival. We're not too sure yet, but basically the facts are pointing that this is going to be our rival, which again, I'm okay with. But you know who he really reminds me of? He really reminds me of that surfer kid from back in Black and White 2. That's who he really reminds me of. Maybe this is a younger him. Maybe it's his son. We don't know yet. We have no idea who this guy is, but we're basically looking at the facts that this is going to be our rival. And here we are with one of the best screenshots. Today we're here with Solgaleo, from what we've heard his name will be. Solgaleo is the Sun Lion Pokemon, and there's so much to speculate of what this Pokemon's going to be. One big thing about this is typing. We don't really know his typing. I'll get to that here in a second. So, to me, I feel like I don't know where we're at right now, but I'm kind of on the fence of the typing for this Pokemon. There's so many typings this thing could be. I'll get into my theory in a little bit, but look how majestic this thing looks. This thing looks absolutely insane. I don't really know where we're at, but again, look at the detail that's in the back. You have pillars. You kind of looks like you're maybe inside a volcano, you know what I'm saying? Or like a cavern in a volcano, because again, Hawaii is very known for volcanoes. Maybe you're inside of a volcano, or maybe the bad team capture this thing like how they always do when you're in the volcano where their secret lair is or something. You don't really know, but what's really awesome is I like the detail of this Pokemon, because again, we've never seen really like a legendary lion Pokemon. So I think the detail on this thing is absolutely insane. As you guys can see, we do have the moon logo here, and we do have the sun logo on the right. So maybe in fact this thing could be fighting off against the other legendary Pokemon, Lunala. Maybe that's a thing right now. Like maybe if Solgaleo is facing you right now, maybe the other side of him is Lunala, and maybe they're fighting it out. So whoever you pick is going to go battle against this other team. Now I don't know what this other team's name's gonna be, but I got a good feeling it's gonna be something with Eclipse. But I'll make a different speculation video of that. But that's Solgaleo. This Pokemon looks absolutely insane. I'm with hashtag Team Sun, baby. I'm Team Sun all the way. I've been Team Sun since day one, just because I usually always get like the red games, like red, gold. I guess that's not really red, but like Ruby. Why just all those like kind of like red exclusives, basically everything but blue, so that I'm definitely Team Sun. Let me know in the comment section below of what game you guys are gonna get, and let's go ahead and get in the next screenshot. So this next screenshot here, we have Lunala. Now again, as you guys can see, it's kind of the same position, but this time you are outside. So maybe with Solgaleo you are inside the volcano, and with Lunala you're outside in the dark time, you know what I'm saying? So maybe that's a thing, because I'm not too positive, but as you guys can see, if you guys look at it, the logos have swapped. So the sun logo's on the left and the moon logo's on the right. So maybe Lunala's battle spot takes on top of the volcano, as Solgaleo takes place at the bottom of the volcano. I'm not too positive. I just got a really good feeling about a volcano being for some reason. So again, look at this thing. This thing looks majestic. It kind of looks like a Noivern / Yveltal. And if you guys did not watch the trailer, go in the trailer, the English one, right now, and you go listen to this thing's cry. This thing cries exactly like Yveltal. I'm not even bullshitting you. Like if you legit just heard, it would be like, "Rah!" You know exactly how Yveltal would. But again, this thing looks majestic. You can see like the universe kind of like in its wings. You can see you can see like the claws that are coming out of like the skeleton outer frame of it. And what's really cool about it is I think is honestly like the shape of its head. So it kind of reminds me of a vampire kind of Pokemon, like a bat slash vampire kind of Pokemon. So this thing is insanely awesome. I kind of, to be honest, I like this thing better than Solgaleo, but Solgaleo looks better than this thing. I don't know. I'm going to call it both either way, but I mean, my main game is probably going to be Pokemon Sun. But again, this thing looks majestic. I'm glad. I love these designs for these Pokemon, and I don't think I could wish for anything better. So this next screenshot is going to be this Pokemon using this move. Now again, like Yveltal, he did have a signature move, which was called Oblivion Wing. What if this thing is like, Lunar Wing is a thing already, so what if this thing's like called Eclipse Wing, or Eclipse Wing, you know what I'm saying? Or something where it gives that same effect as Oblivion Wing, you know? So that's what I personally think this move could be. I mean, remember, it looks exactly like Oblivion Wing, so maybe it could be the counterpart of Oblivion Wing. So maybe it could be Eclipse Wing or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's like this Pokemon's moving in front of the sun as the moon, so it's kind of like radiating this eclipse kind of beam. I'm not too positive. We're going to have to see a little more about it, but that's basically what I'm speculating about this one. So now, here's the big thing I want to talk about. This game is coming out November 18th, 2016. A lot of things I want to talk about right now. So, like I said earlier, I want to talk about the typings of this Pokemon. So, here's what I'm thinking. Everyone's like, I could see this thing being, like Solgaleo, they're like a fire and psychic. And then this thing, the other one being like a fairy, and I think someone said like a fairy and psychic type as well, or fairy and what's it called? Fairy and dark, I think. Here's what I think. And I don't know if you guys will necessarily agree with me, but what if Solgaleo was a normal and fire type Pokemon, exactly like the Pyroar? And you guys are probably wondering, Cypher, why do you think normal and fire? Well, what if the counteract to Lunala, like, you know, to Solgaleo, which is Lunala, what if Lunala is a ghost and fairy type Pokemon? If you really think about it, you know, it's like fairy and fire don't really get along, but normal and ghost don't get along either as well, you know what I'm saying? So what if those are the counterparts to each other, you know? So I'm really speculating onto what this could be, but I'm really confident. I think that Solgaleo could be a fire and normal type, and Lunala could be a ghost and fairy type. Because if you really look at the facts, like let's really look at it. Ruby and Sapphire, Kyogre and Groudon. Water beats fire, you know what I'm saying? But with drought, fire fights back against water, you know? Another theory to this is X and Y. Xerneas, fairy type. Yveltal, dark type. Counteracts each other, you know? So that's what I'm really thinking it could be, you know? I mean, it's gonna, and the thing is, if you think about it, ghost can't hit normal, and normal can't hit ghost. You know? So it's kind of like one of those things where it kind of counteracts each other, but it kind of doesn't. So that's what I really think the typings could be. Let me know in the comment section below of what you guys think. I'm really confident with a normal fire type / ghost and fairy typing, to be honest. But again, I guess we're gonna have to find out this here on the Core League. So again, this is going up on November 11. I'm sorry, November. I wish it was going up on November 11th so I could get the game in 7 days. But it is going up on May 11th. So Core does leak tomorrow. Maybe we'll find out the actual typings and name of this thing. But with that being said, that is going to be what I think of the English trailer. But there are screenshots from the Japanese one that we did not see. So again, I'm basically going to break down the Japanese trailer. The Japanese trailer went as a boy who's probably moving from Japan or Korea, and he's moving to Hawaii. You can definitely distinctively see it's Hawaii. You look at, like, he looks out of the airplane and he can see Hawaii. It's Hawaii in a nutshell. You can just see it. And what he's doing is he's trying to make friends, but unfortunately he's struggling to do that. So he sees this one boy who, you know, who has a lot of confidence in him. Like, he got done speaking. He's the first to clap. And he just notices this boy out of distinct. So finally, he goes and sees. He's walking downtown with his mom, and he sees a Pokemon Sun and Moon release day. So he goes in there. He sees the boy with his friends, and they're all getting Pokemon. So he buys the game, and he's playing the Pokemon game. And basically, what it is, they become friends off of Pokemon Sun and Moon. But there was a couple of screenshots that you could distinctively see that weren't in the English trailer. So let's go ahead and get into those. Alright, so we're here at the first screenshot, and we can see that he is on some type of app. As you guys can see, we have Kukai waving at you. And what's really weird is, if you can kind of distinctively see, you can see a wedding ring on his finger. So maybe he's married, maybe he's not. I'm not too positive. But as you guys can see, he has, it's kind of like a what's it called? Like a FaceTime kind of thing. As you guys can see, he has like a video camera app, a camera app, and then a settings app. But then what's really cool is you can minimize the call, you can widen it, you can even exit out of it. So what's really cool is it kind of gives it like that computer / tablet feel to it. So I'm not too sure of what this is, but this could be like the cross transceiver in black and white, or it could even be like the Holocast in X and Y. We're not too positive, but I'm hyped for it because and what's even cool is maybe as he's looking at you in that let's call it a FaceTime app. Like he's looking at you in the FaceTime app, what if the camera's pointing at you instead of the character, So maybe he's waving at you and you can wave at him in your real life. So I think that's pretty cool detail to look at. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Actually, let me know all your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. I would really, really, really appreciate that, and it lets me know what you guys are thinking. So this next screenshot is going to be, in fact, kind of like a character customization. You can pick the skin tone of your character. But what's really cool, though, I think is actually really cool, is you can pick a darker skin tone. So you can like literally go from me to Shady to Numnexus to Jay. To JYT Gamer, you know what I'm saying? So you have that evolution line, and as well, you guys can see the female character as well. I think the female character kind of looks lit. I think it looks like the best one I've seen yet. But yeah, it kind of gives you like that modern day, man wears snapback, girls wear a winter hat, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. But what's really cool again is you can pick your character, you know what I'm saying? If you want him being, Caucasian with blonde hair, plenty of that. You know what I'm saying? A dark-haired Caucasian, plenty of that. You know what I'm saying? Again, light skin, and what I'm really hoping they bring back is the clothing customization. I really, really want that, as well as if you can get a haircut, that'd be kind of cool, because I kind of like the long hair, but then again, kind of don't. So that's actually pretty cool. But again, I did see also where a person was wearing a black shirt, like a black striped shirt, and all of a sudden another person was wearing a white striped shirt, or I'm sorry, a blue striped shirt. So maybe you can switch up the color of your clothing. I'm not too positive, but either way, I'm pretty hyped. And again, like you guys seen on that one app that he was talking to Kukai through that FaceTime kind of thing, you can see the same exact thing as the minimize, the size of the browser, as well as the just completely exiting out of the app. So that's pretty cool. I think this might be the start of the game, where maybe you're on the plane. Or maybe you're on a plane going to this region and you have to pick all this before you go, and maybe as you're on the plane, he is FaceTiming you like, hey man, definitely nice to see you, we'll definitely see you soon, we'll come pick you up from the airport. Maybe he's moving there. I'm not sure of what this main character is going to be doing, but let me know in the comment section below of what you guys think. But this next screenshot here is going to be of the region, Alola region. Now, what I really think is, as you guys can see, you guys see that big volcano there. That is what I was talking about, is if you met Solgaleo or Lunala, maybe they meet there. Again, it's just basically you can see the whole entire region that's surrounded by rocks as well, so maybe you can't surf over there. Now, if they thought Hoenn was 7 out of 8 or 7.8 out of 10 for too much water, wait until they get a hold of this one. So, and what's weird though is this is definitely the main island for Hawaii, but there are surrounding islands. So maybe there's like 2 gyms on one island, 2 gyms on one island, 2 gyms on one island, and maybe 2 gyms plus Elite Four on this island, plus, you know what I'm saying, like the evil bad team and all that. So again, we're not too positive of what we know here, but what's really cool though is how it kind of like is surrounded by rocks. And the thing is, what's really awesome to me is how much detail you can see. Like you can like literally see towns going, you know, like back and forth, surrounding around through the caves. In the town, you can like literally see on top of the buildings, inside the volcano, as well as a couple of little islands that are surrounded in those rocks, as well as a big hut that you see down there. So I'm not too positive what's going to be able to come through this, but I'm definitely hyped. All right, so next, this one again is really interesting to me because as you can see, you see in the background that he has boxes like he's moving, you know. So with that being said, maybe again, like, you know, maybe he rode a plane down here to move down here to become a Pokemon trainer because his cousin maybe just got a job as an assistant professor, or maybe is the professor. You know, we're not too positive, but maybe that's what it is. Because I'm really thinking that's what it is. Maybe he was riding on the plane and, you know, he was, you know how like the games start, like, you know, as ORAS, you were watching that thing and it chose you if you want to be a boy or a girl, and then you were watching, you know, basically the old Emerald or, you know, Ruby and Sapphire games, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's kind of like that where you're just like on your little pad thing and, you know, it tells you to pick if you're a boy or a girl, you know what I'm saying, your skin tone and all that. And then he video messages like, hey, we'll come see, or, you know, we're going to come see you soon at the airport. Definitely be ready. This, you know, so maybe it's kind of like that. I'm not sure. But again, it kind of looks like that, you know, maybe those are his boxes to bring up to his room where he will be moving into. So I'm not too sure, but that's really why I kind of like made this screenshot, is just to kind of like get an idea of what's going on, why we're in this, you know, why we're in the Alola region. So this right here is a female character that we're not too positive of. What I'm thinking is we did see a wedding ring on top, or on the finger of Kukai. Maybe that's his wife. Maybe that's not our mom character, but maybe that's going to be the female character that is playing the mom role, you know what I'm saying? So maybe if we move there, you know, maybe me and my mom moved there like the Japanese commercial, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the thing too, or maybe she met Kukai, who is possibly either the Pokemon professor or is maybe just an assistant, and, you know, maybe we moved to Hawaii. I'm not too sure of who this woman is, but we're gonna figure it out one day. Alright guys, and this is going to be the last screenshot that I want to show you. Now this is actually one of the most important ones, and hopefully this comes true. But as you guys can see on your screen, we see Litten here attacking a Rowlet with possibly like an Ember, or, you know, just some kind of signature move that these things get. But as you guys can see behind Rowlet, yes, that is our rival, but what is more importantly is he is standing behind the Rowlet. So does that mean that we can see each other, like we can see all, like, ourselves or our opponents behind our Pokemon as they're getting attacked? Like, imagine him just standing there in a Draco Meteor coming, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if he gets hit by a meteor, you know what I'm saying? So I'm actually pretty hyped if that is the case, for if that's going to be what's going to be going on if there's battling. If that comes true, I'm fucking done with Pokemon. Pokemon has fucking, they can have my whole bank account at that point. They can just have my whole bank account, my whole wallet. Oh, I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. So again, that's going to be all the screenshots. I do want to get into the starters here in a little bit. Again, if you guys enjoyed the screenshots, then make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and I will see you guys when we get to the Pokemon starters theory. Alright guys. Alright guys, so as you guys can see, I am here on the Pokemon website, and I wanted to get in a little more depth about the starter Pokemon. So here we have Rowlet, and the thing is that they actually have the Pokemon's descriptions in them, which is actually insane. So again, we have Rowlet here, we have Litten here, and we have Popplio here. I kind of want to start off with Rowlet. So as you can see, the Pokemon page does have all these stats. I will leave the Twitter link, I will leave the website link in the description below. Guys, go check it out. You guys can get a little more information if you want to. But here we can see Rowlet. Rowlet is obviously 1 foot tall. He's 3.3 pounds. He's not too big, but he is a grass quill Pokemon. So I don't know how to explain it. He's just a grass owl. So I feel like he's going to be grass flying. I mean, that's the only typing you can really give it. I mean, this thing could, you know, evolve into maybe a grass, or maybe like I don't know, grass and flying is really what's going toward, because you think of an owl being a flying type. But his description does say Rowlet can attack without making a sound, so it's a very quiet Pokemon. So I think this thing is going to be more of like a speedy physical attacker. I think that might sound more a little, like kind of like an owl, how they go down for prey but they're really fast. I think this thing is going to be a physical fast type kind of Pokemon. But if it is flying in grass, it does get walled by a lot. So I'm going to be kind of curious to how this kind of plays out. But it flies silently through the skies, drawing near to its opponent without being noticed, and then lashing out with powerful kicks. It can also attack from a distance using the razor sharp leaves, the form of part of its feathers. Okay. Oh, so we have a little more description on them down below. So as you guys can see, we have the pictures here again. So this is what is a razor? I'm not too sure what that is. It's a little different to me actually, but either way, we have Rowlet here shooting a feather leaf kind of out of its wing. I'm not too sure, but either way, like it said, it can kind of like it's an owl, you know what I'm saying? So you know how like owls have like no side vision, so they have to like turn their whole neck to look behind them and all that. So I don't know, owls are really weird to me, but I really like how this thing looks. I was kind of on the edge about it. I was like, I don't really like the bow tie, like the bow tie leaves. But then again, I kind of got a little more into it, and I was like, yo, that's actually kind of lit. So either way, we have another description. It says its visual abilities are impressive. The darkness of night is no obstacle to Rowlet, which again, owls are basically habited to the nighttime. It can twist its neck nearly 180 degrees from front to back so it can see directly behind itself. It was a habit of turning its head in a battle to face its trainer and receive instructions. I don't know if it was this trailer, but I think it was the other one where it completely turned its neck to look at its trainer, which is fucking insanely awesome. The move Leafage attacks an opponent by striking it with leaves. Okay, so that must be Leafage right there. So that's actually kind of cool how we actually get a new move. Now, I don't know if it's going to be like a signature move for this thing, but I could definitely see, like, if they made the anime for Pokemon X and Y, Sun and Moon, I definitely could see Ash picking Rowlet. I think he's going to pick Rowlet, to be honest, because, I don't know, like, just the way that they're giving this Pokemon its own signature move doesn't mean that, you won't see Litten or Pablo get its own signature move, but I just see this thing getting its own signature move, so I think, Ash might utilize that in the anime. But either way, the move Leafage attacks an opponent by striking it with the leaf. Rowlet knows this move from the moment it becomes your partner. Okay, that is fucking insanely awesome. That is awesome. That is fucking insanely awesome. Okay, so that's Rowlet. Let's go ahead and go back, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at Litten. Oh, I'm so hyped. Okay, so Litten here is a fire cat Pokemon. Again, it stands at 1'4", basically 9.5. So that's a fat fucking cat, man. That's like a baby. It's fire type, obviously with ability Blaze. Logical, but also passionate. Litten always remains cool-headed and does not show its emotions on the surface. And that's funny because if you look at this thing, it's kind of like an emo cat, you know what I'm saying? So, like, emo fire, all that stuff, yelling, metal, screaming, music, all that kind of stuff. This thing actually looks kind of cool. Now, again, I could see this thing kind of evolving into a fire tiger. And like you guys have all been seeing, it kind of gives like the proportionate of being on the zodiac chart. So I think this thing could evolve into a fire type, but again, I'm not opposed to evolving to this kind of like badass fire Lipard / Pyro kind of thing. I think that'd be kind of fucking sick. But either way, you guys here can see a little bit more in depth of the of him using a move. So that's pretty cool. So you know how like black cats or like cats just in general, how like when they get like they hunch their back and their fur goes up. This is what Linnen's at, or Linnen. Sorry, my cat's across the my neighbor's cat's actually called Mr. Linnen, and so it's kind of cool. So Litten, or Litten, So, but either way, we have Linnen here. Litten. Using a fire type move. I'm not too positive, but either way, it's kind of cool how like it just stays like cool and collected, and then all of a sudden when it attacks, like the fur on its back like raise up and things. You don't see any red here, but like once it hunches up, you can just like see like the mountain of red, and that's so fucking dope. But it says Litten can attack with flaming hairballs. Its fur is rich in oils and immensely flammable. Litten grooms itself by licking its fur, like cats usually do. But again, I think tigers and lions usually do that as well. or I think it's just animals in general mostly do that. But and then uses the collected fur as fuel for fireball attacks. Okay, so is this like a fireball or like a fur ball, like a fur fireball or something? I don't know what you would call that, like a fire fury or something. I don't know. But when the time comes for Litten to shed its old fur, it all burns up in a glorious blaze. Yo, this thing is actually kind of dope. The move Ember attacks an opponent by firing a small flame at it. Litten knows this move from the moment it becomes your partner Pokemon. Okay, so this either must be Ember or maybe like a signature move it gets later along the road when it, you know, levels up, obviously. But maybe that's either that hairball fire kind of move, or maybe it's just Ember. We're not too positive, but either way, this thing looks fucking insanely awesome. So that's Litten, and then next but not least, we have Popplio. This is my least favorite starter because I don't know. It's just it looks too ROM hackish, you know. It just looks like a fan-made Pokemon game kind of Pokemon. But again, I'm not opposed to it. I really like. Again, I'm not basing any judgment until I see the final forms of these Pokemon. It's like maybe Litten's final form could look ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I really wanted to pick Fennekin, and then all of a sudden it came to Delphox, and that thing looked the worst. You know what I'm saying? So I went with Chestnut easily, but. Either way, we have Popplio here. It was a sea lion Pokemon, obviously. Again, foot and 4 inches. Weight 16.5. Okay, so this thing is fucking the heaviest out of all of them. So maybe this thing will be like a bulky, kind of like a Walrein Pokemon, but better. And again, as you can see here, it's kind of like a collar and like a, you know, like a ball nose kind of Pokemon. But either way, maybe maybe this thing could turn to like a water ice type. I don't know, maybe like I don't know what kind of type this thing, maybe a fairy, just I don't know, like a fairy one would be kind of cool. You know, like kind of like it kind of looks like a clown, you know what I'm saying, like Mr. Mime, kind of like a clown. So, and he's a fairy now, so maybe this thing could turn like a water fairy. And yeah, actually that could work out, because if you think about it, if you really think about it, you know how like the 6th generation Pokemon, they go around with each other, so it's like water, you know, Greninja's water and dark, covers that with Chestnut, grass, and fighting, and then covering that is fire and psychic with Delphox. So maybe this thing could be fairy type to cover the dual weakness of Litten. So you know what I'm saying. So maybe Litten will evolve into a dark fire type, as Popplio here will evolve into a water and fairy type. And then so maybe out of the loop will be Rowlet with the flying and grass typing. I'm not too sure of what that's going to consist of, but either way, he has the water typing and the ability of Torrent. Either way, Popplio's swimming speed is known to be exceed to 25 miles per hour. It's better moving in the water than on land. Still, when it's on land, it takes advantage of the elasticity of its balloons to perform acrobatic stunts and jumps. What do you mean the balloons? Like the Yo, okay, that is some sick ass fucking art. That is going on the thumbnail for sure. But either way, that is fucking insanely dope. Okay, so he blows bubbles out of his nose, so maybe he'll even get a signature move that he can use, like, you know how like the fur ball, fireball with Litten, and then the leafage with Rowlet. So maybe he gets like a signature move with that. But either way, you know, it's kind of cool. Like, this Pokemon actually has like stricken an interest into me. But either way, Popplio, it can snort out balloons made of water. Watch it spin water balloons into a playful battle strategy. That's actually kind of lit. So maybe he like, oh, maybe like how there's like Spiky Shield with Chestnut. Maybe he gets like a move that like kind of like does the same thing to like absorbs hit, and maybe it's like a mirror coat where like it takes it and then all of a sudden it blows it back. You know what I'm saying? Like traps it in a bubble and then blows it back, double the power. I got too much speculation. But either way, both frivolous and hardworking, Popplio can easily get carried away, unleashing enough power into a battle to make quite a spectacle. But Popplio's determined spirit means it can usually be found practicing hard on its balloon skills. The water gun move attacks an opponent by firing a jet of water. Popplio knows this move from the moment it becomes your partner. Okay, so either way, Rowlet is the one that gets the signature moves. I feel like in the anime, Ash is going to pick Rowlet. I just don't know. It's just a hard feeling. But either way, that is going to be the starter Pokemon there. I am fucking hyped for this game. I don't know what it is. I'm too hyped. I am really, really, really too hyped. Alrighty, and there you guys go. That is going to be my speculation and breakdown for Pokemon Sun and Moon from the trailers, from the Japanese trailers, from the screenshots, from the starter information. Everything is broken down to where we can finally actually get some information and start building a process to what this game's going to be about. So again, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button down below. It is greatly appreciated. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. All those links in the description below, as well as the Japanese and English versions of the trailers. Make sure you guys go watch those over and over and over to make your own speculations and breakdowns. And with that being said, make sure you guys subscribe for more Pokemon Sun and Moon content, as well as Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire content. Again, we post lots of Pokemon over here. So with that being said, I think it's time to get up out of here. So again, hit that thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in the next video. So please have yourselves a great morning, night, evening, day, wherever you're at, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. What is cracking, cuz? See ya.